Welcome to British Royal Family Updates. Ahead of his coronation, King Charles has been told by representatives from 12 Commonwealth countries to acknowledge and apologise for the impact and ongoing legacy from British genocide and colonisation. Sorry for interrupting. Before we continue, if you're new to our channel, please subscribe and turn on the notification bell for more updates. Thank you. Representatives from 12 Commonwealth countries have joined forces to call on the King to acknowledge and apologise for the impacts and ongoing legacy from British genocide and colonisation. The statement, which has been sent to Charles, calls on Britain's new monarch to act on the royal family's recent expressions of sorrow by beginning a process for reparations and returning stolen artefacts and bodily remains. Signatories to the statement include representatives from Australia, New Zealand, the Bahamas and Canada. The statement said, "Our collective Indigenous rights organisations, among other organisations who are working to help our communities recover from centuries of racism, oppression, colonialism and slavery, now rightly recognised by the United Nations as crimes against humanity, also call for a formal apology and for a process of reparatory justice to commence." One of the representatives, Australian Senator Lydia Thorpe, said, "The British monarchy oversaw the oppression of First Nations peoples and British colonies all over the world. The horrific impacts of British colonisation, including the genocide of our people, theft of our land and denigration of our culture, are still felt today. The genocidal project that commenced in 1788 still continues, and neither the British Crown nor the Australian government have been held to account for the crimes they have committed." This joint statement, from First Nations and human rights advocates across the Commonwealth, calls on King Charles III to make a formal apology and begin a process of repairing the damage of colonisation, including returning the stolen wealth that has been taken from our people. In early April, the King expressed his support for the first time for research into the historical links between the British monarchy and the transatlantic slave trade. Buckingham Palace said Charles takes the issues profoundly seriously, and the royal household will help with the academic project by offering access to the royal collection and the royal archives. Canada has changed the official royal title of King Charles III in a controversial move described as a break from tradition. The King's official title in Canada will no longer include the Defender of the Faith role and will no longer reference the United Kingdom. Queen Elizabeth was officially titled Queen Elizabeth II, by the grace of God of the United Kingdom, Canada and her other realms and territories, Queen, Head of the Commonwealth, Defender of the Faith. But the King's new title will be Charles III, by the grace of God, King of Canada and his other realms and territories, Head of the Commonwealth. Richard Deacon, a retired Archdeacon of the Diocese of Saskatoon, has said the change is very significant as it was a historic departure from tradition. The change came this week as part of a bill which was included in the Canadian government's new budget, which will change the Royal Styles and Titles Act in Canada and officially alter the monarch's official title. Annie Cullinan, Director of Communications for the King's Privy Council in Canada, said, "As we prepare for the coronation of the new monarch, a decision was made to modernise the title to bring Canada in line with other Commonwealth countries, including Australia. The title Defender of the Faith has been used by the monarch since 1543, after King Henry VIII broke away from the Catholic Church and became a head of the Church of England. Other Commonwealth countries have different official titles for the monarchy, as in Australia, King Charles is styled as by the grace of God, King of Australia and his other realms and territories, Head of the Commonwealth. Canada originally chose to include the phrase Defender of the Faith, so the monarch would be a defender of faith in general, but not the protector of a state religion, as Canada does not have one. Archbishop Linda Nichols, the primate of the Anglican Church of Canada, has said that King Charles has in the past spoken of being a defender of faith in Britain, recognising the spiritual rights all faiths practiced there, and not just the Christian faith. In an interview with the Globe and Mail, the Archbishop, the change to his title in Canada recognises the limitations of his role in a multicultural, multi-faith